the final sentence of this is, it may be the final irony of grace that to be Jesus's church in the 2020s, like the church in its first centuries, we have to pay more attention to the world and more often be its loving advocate rather than its sworn enemy. No, there's almost the early this like what because right the point he brings up is like the church was against the gladiatorial games, but that wasn't them being a loving advocate of Rome. That was like, hey, we're opposed to the most popular thing here.
Right. Yeah, we are literally opposed to the thing that everybody that has any kind of influence and power is putting on.
Yes. For the masses.
For the masses that everybody loves.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Those first century believers who were being killed,
right,
for what they were doing.
But again, it is a muddled mess of, to bring the light of the world, we need to be a loving advocate for the world.
It's just such a weird thing. And notice how it's always a power play. So this is, at least in what I have ever seen, this is a power play, because notice when they talk about listening to the world, I guarantee that they are very selective in who they're talking about. It's almost always a very like cultural elite, right? It's like, it's listening to the concerns or criticisms or ideas of the LGBT community, or listening to the concerns of, late night comedians and artists. And it's always like these, these more obviously progressive peoples. It is never, why don't we listen more carefully to the Trump supporter? Why don't we listen more carefully to the QAnon guy who stormed the Capitol?
Right.
Well, he's part of the world. Why aren't we listening to him? Why aren't we learning more how we can bring the gospel to him? Well, that guy, like, he's an unbeliever. Everybody thinks he's predestined to hell. We have to go to the people who we want to be in heaven with.